Did you know that Ann Arbor was just ranked as the city with the best quality of life in the entire country?
Now I know what you're thinking. According to who? Well, it just so happens to be a little publication by the name of Forbes. Yes, that Forbes. F-O-R-B-E-S! Exclamation point.
But they're not the only ones who know that the home of the Wolverines is the best place to live here in Michigan. According to US News and Niche.com, it always ranks as one of the best places to live here in Michigan.
So the question is, what is it about this place that makes it so special, not only in the eyes of Michiganders, but from people all over the country? In today's video, we'll give you the 7 top reasons why Ann Arbor is still the best choice for you.
And as a bonus, I'm going to throw in 3 cons that you might want to consider before making that big decision to relocate.
By the end of this video, you'll know Ann Arbor way better. You'll know about the vibe of the community, the job opportunities available to you, activities, and more.
You'll also learn some things about Ann Arbor that you might not like, so make sure you stick around to the end because I'm answering all the questions you can't even find on Google.
And if we've never met before, my name is Juan Alcala, and along with my business partner.
Hey, if we're meeting here for the first time, my name is Eric Meldrum. I make videos that are all things Michigan, what it's like to eat, live, sleep, breathe, and play right here in Ann Arbor and Metro Detroit.
We're also licensed real estate agents, and we help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest all over southeastern Michigan.
Now, there's no doubt that there's a ton to love about living in Ann Arbor. You know, it's got that big city energy, but also got that small town vibe, and it offers that little quaintness, but really kind of gets you propelled from all the activity that's going on in the city. So no wonder it's one of the best places to live right here in Michigan, and for so many good reasons. But here are my personal top 7 reasons, and remember, I got 3 bonus cons for you towards the end.
Now let's go check out Ann Arbor, America's best city.
So the first thing I want to talk about is the college town vibes here in Ann Arbor. Now, Ann Arbor is nothing like any downtown and any college campus that I've ever seen. And take those two and separate them. I would say Ann Arbor City standalone, awesome. University of Michigan campus standalone, amazing. Now, combine those two and you have one of the most unique experiences with a downtown and a college university that I've ever seen. Now, I went to Western Michigan University, and although it was a great campus, great school, some of my best friends I met there, and just a great environment. But having spent so much time on campus, helping graduates, helping residents, like just we're in and around, you know, this vibe all day long. It's like something I've never experienced before. And I'm so happy to be a part of it and so happy to be part of this culture. But at the same token, I know this doesn't exist everywhere. Right? And if you spend enough time here, you kind of take it for granted. And I have to take a step back sometimes and say, wow, like I don't know any other cities or campuses that are so interconnected with the ecosystem in the economy, for that matter, as Ann Arbor and the University of Michigan. So for that experience alone, the possibilities are endless for you. So next on the list is the walkability and bike friendliness of Ann Arbor. You know, when it comes to the scoring for walkability, Ann Arbor ranks 98 out of 100. That's a nearly perfect score. I don't know that I've ever seen a higher score in my research of some of the cities here in Michigan. Ann Arbor ranks 98 out of 100, and for good reason. You know, the city's been making a lot of investment into bike trails, bike lanes for that matter, on some of the main roads, trying to make it really friendly for bikes and people to walk just pretty much anywhere. You know, they got an initiative to go 0 emissions by a certain point, and the bike lanes that they put in are really making that possible because getting around is super easy. So when it comes to just like everyday life, you know, that's always kind of what I graded off of. You know, can my wife and I and the kids, can we go downtown and can we walk pretty much anywhere in the city? And the answer is yes. You know, if we wanted to go downtown, go out to eat, go over to the Hands-On Museum, or travel from Carytown over to Main Street, and then from Main Street over to campus. And if you're looking at a map, you'll see that's kind of like a little triangle. You know, those are the main districts. You go from Carytown to Main Street to campus. That's like a little triangle. And that would take us anywhere from, you know, 15 minutes to get from Carytown to Main Street, maybe less. And then from Main Street over to campus, that'd be about a 20-minute walk. But it's easy terrain, great shopping, you know, along the way, you know, lots of places to go grab a quick bite to eat, pop in, you know, look at some trinkets at, you know, some of the stores like Rock, Paper, Scissor. Downtown is one of our girls' favorite stores to go in. They just got so many like local handmade things and just, things that they love as kids. They got paper and rocks and scissors. They like making crafts. So they love that store. So when it comes to walking and biking in Ann Arbor, it's an absolute breeze to get around and super easy.
Now, one of the things that Ann Arbor is known for that you might not be aware of is its thriving art and cultural scene. You got the University of Michigan's Museum of Art, which has century-old collections. It's pretty awesome. You've got renowned galleries like the Ann Arbor Art Center that showcases both local and national talent. You've got plenty of independent galleries and lots of art to choose from. There's a thriving performance art scene. Of course, you've got the University of Michigan and all of the musicians that attend the college there, but there are really cool venues down there too. One of my personal favorite is the Arc. It is a very intimate venue where you can go see live musicians play. I've seen many shows at the Arc. It is one of my all-time favorite venues. It only seats probably like 150. I don't actually know the number. I should have checked, but it's tiny, y'all. And when you're in there with live musicians, it is like one of those places where you feel like you could literally reach your hand out and touch the artist. And that is cool because there have been some very large names that come through that tiny little venue. And it's so intimate. You can go see jazz, you can go see, of course, orchestra, live concerts all over the place. Ann Arbor has a thriving music scene also. If you look past the venues and museum, Ann Arbor really focuses on giving you an opportunity for exploration of art, if you will. The Ann Arbor Art Fair takes place annually, and people fly in from all over the world to display, their art, and people come from all around. It's not just Michigan. Literally, people fly in from all over the country to come to this annual event because it is so wonderful, right? It's thriving. You go down, the city is just buzzing. There are people everywhere. There's art everywhere. There's great food all over the town. You're walking around, you have access to University of Michigan. It's just a wonderful spot to go spend a weekend and enjoy all of the wonderful art that people have put their time and energy into.
So next up on our list is the thriving job market here in Ann Arbor. Now, I don't want to skim over this one too quickly because this is the number one reason people move to Ann Arbor, which is for job relocation. Now, having a great quality of life and being one of the best places to retire, best places to raise a family amongst the accolades that we get here in Ann Arbor, you can't have all that if you don't have an income, right? We have to have some source of income, and I can assure you that the industries and the jobs that are here have a very high earning potential, right? We wouldn't have high real estate prices, which I'll get to in a little bit, if we didn't have a high demand and people that are earning enough to afford that type of real estate. So along with the great quality of life is the thriving job market, and it spans anywhere from healthcare to education to technology. The University of Michigan, which is really a big staple of the community, is one of the largest employers here in Ann Arbor. We go from the hospital system to the university. So naturally, there's a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses, a lot of faculty and administrative positions in all of those. Huge legal team, for both of those. So we have doctors, lawyers, executives. We have professors. All of those occupations are here in Ann Arbor. And then you couple that with the research departments that spin out of that. There's a lot of researchers, a lot of scientists, a lot of technology, including software engineers, hardware engineers. The University of Michigan has a great engineering program, and out of that program, a lot of students love Ann Arbor so much that they graduate and go work for the university or go work for some of the technology companies that are here in Ann Arbor because the job market is in such high demand. And a lot of those companies move to Ann Arbor to pull from that talent pool at the University of Michigan. So the ecosystem that they have here is just self-propelling, right? We have a lot of great students and graduates and doctors coming out of the university, and they go work at the hospital system or some of the companies that are headquartered right here in Ann Arbor.
When it comes to outdoor activities, the Huron River is really the star of the show when it comes to Ann Arbor. Now, if you're a local, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is canoeing, there is rafting, where people will just hook up on the river, float down the river all day, enjoy maybe an adult beverage or two, or just go hang out and just really enjoy everything that nature has to offer. And it is such a fun experience. You have to do it at least one time in your life. You will not be disappointed. Great time to do that is usually between the middle of June and right before the transition into September. That's when the water is going to be warmest. this because it is a river, it flows pretty quickly, but man, it's just an awesome day. My wife Kate and I have done the tour on the river. We had an absolute blast, and I know you will too. If you look beyond the river, you've got parks and nature areas. One of the coolest places to go explore is the University of Michigan's Botanical Gardens. That place is lights out. We've taken photos there as a family before, and what a really beautiful experience. We went during the fall. It's awesome. Spring and fall in Michigan are amazing, y'all. Summer, of course, is outstanding, but those other seasons are part of that big draw of why living in an area like Ann Arbor is so important, because summer is just one component of it. Even into the winter, you can do some skiing, you can do some ice skating. There's a lot of activities to do outdoors. And if you want to get into something a little bit more rugged, you could head over to Pinckney. You can do horseback riding over there. You can do mountain biking over there. There's trails that you can walk. There's plenty of space. My family actually owns property out there. It's beautiful. We butt right up to the Michigan Wildlife Preserve, the University of Michigan Wildlife Preserve. So beautiful area, man. 2,000 acres behind us. And there's an entire chain of lakes over there also. If, just relaxing on the beach is your thing, or going for a boat ride. Plenty to do in the greater Ann Arbor area.
Next up on the list, I'm getting hungry just even thinking about this, which is the food scene here in Ann Arbor. Now, I've talked about this on other videos before, and I don't know what else to say besides you have to come to Ann Arbor and try all the cuisines and these restaurants for yourself. Me talking about it is not doing it justice, because the flavors, the diversity, the craftsmanship, and just like amount of love and attention that goes into food here, it's absolutely amazing. Like, it still blows me away. Anytime we get a chance, I'm always begging, Brianne and the girls, like, hey, let's go to Ann Arbor for food. Like, I just want the flavors. I want all of the things that Ann Arbor has to offer. And, some of the staples here that you cannot go without are, of course, Zingerman's. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, Zingerman's Deli has some of the most amazing deli sandwiches. You can go there, buy loaves of bread, which make all in-house. Zingerman's is also a huge distributor of their breads to local bakeries around town, local grocery stores. So you can find their breads a lot of places, but going to the downtown location in Carytown and just going into the shop to get a deli sandwich, absolutely to die for. So there's nothing like going into the downtown location and just going and grabbing a sandwich and sitting outside in a summer day. You can grab one of my favorite sandwiches, which is the Reuben. Go grab a water, sit outside, and just enjoy the downtown area. A couple others that you don't want to miss are Crazy Jim Blimpie Burger. Jim's Blimpie Burger is like a staple here. Like, you haven't had a burger unless you have Jim's Blimpie Burger. So definitely try that out. And one of our newer favorite locations that the family and I absolutely love is the Dixboro Project. It's actually in the village of Dixboro, which is on the northeast side of Ann Arbor. It's an old, I don't even know what the building was before, but it's like it has this farmhouse vibe. I think it might have been a farm before. I don't know the exact history in it. I should probably know that. But it has a lot of farmhouse style to it. And so you go in there and there's a huge kind of U-shaped bar. The kitchen's open, huge long dining area to the left. And then outside they do something really cool, which is they put up picnic tables. It's overlooking the Huron River. So you have picnic tables all scattered around. So you can bring your own picnic blanket, or you can sit on some of the picnic tables and just enjoy being outside. They have a little cafe where you can grab wood burning stove pizzas. And then they have a lot of other to-go things. They have sandwiches, burgers, things of that nature. And that's a really cool experience for us. Like on a spring or summer day, or even in the fall, we love doing that because it gives the girls, a little bit more outside time, enjoy nature, run around, get some energy out, instead of just sitting down at the table. We actually went there a couple days ago, and our oldest was like, I don't want to go to a restaurant. I don't want to sit inside. And we're like, well, we're going to the Dixboro Project. Well, ended up being a little bit colder outside than we originally had anticipated. So we did sit inside, but nonetheless, like, they love going there because they know it's an opportunity to be outside and enjoy nature. All right. And last but not least, I want to talk about the strong sense of community here in Ann Arbor. Now, there's various ways to feel connected to the city. I mean, just being downtown, in the whole entire vibe between campus, the downtown area on a busy Saturday or Sunday, like, you really feel like you're in a really vibrant community. But couple that with a lot of the activities that you can do with groups or private communities, around town, you can get connected with a lot of people with the same interests. And I think that's really the ultimate thing about community, is finding people of your tribe, finding people that you connect with and you can spend time with. And Ann Arbor is definitely one of those areas. I've seen more groups, like mini groups, spin out of a lot of like the Facebook groups and things that are going on. I mean, there's a whiskey group in Ann Arbor and a bourbon collectors group that a couple of my buddies invited me to, and like these little micro groups exist. So there's running groups, there's tennis groups, and it doesn't always have to be on Facebook. Like these are groups that you can find just by joining some clubs. Like we just became members at the Liberty Athletic Club, which is really cool. They got tennis, they have a lap pool, they have a whole entire workout facility. They play a pickleball as well. And then within those, there's classes and groups that you can be part of, and then you can meet people. And that's a great way to find, like interests. But some of the other ones that are kind of like more homegrown are these local gardens, right? And no pun intended on the homegrown thing, but like the local gardens, that's a whole entire sense of community within itself. Right, people that want to participate in those local gardens. They have people that volunteer to just tend the gardens, help grow them. The university has a lot of different clubs and spin outs as well. And if you're looking for, kind of a more private club or community, there's Barton Hills Country Club, which is a golf community and athletic club on the north part of Ann Arbor. So a lot of this community, comes from just being downtown, being a part of the university, having the culture. Ann Arbor is just really rich in that sense of community, and being here in Ann Arbor, there's a lot of times where you may feel like you're in a kind of a big, medium-sized city, but everything's super welcoming. So as you know, there's a lot to love about Ann Arbor, but what are the cons? What are some of the things that you need to watch out for? And I want to get into the 3 bonus cons of living here in Ann Arbor, which number 1 is the high cost of living. The cost of real estate is really the big proponent of that. The groceries, the gas, all that's pretty much on par with a lot of the neighboring cities here in Southeast Michigan. You're not going to find like cheaper gas in a local, city nearby. You're not going to find, the bread or milk at the grocery store any cheaper at a different grocery store. It's the real estate that drives the high cost of living. So average price in Ann Arbor for a single family home is right around $525,000. If you do want to know more about the real estate, just give us a call, reach out, be happy to have a conversation with you. And the number 2 con is the cold winters here in Ann Arbor. Having 4 seasons in Michigan, you're going to have to bear some temperatures. You're going to have to make sure you prepare accordingly. You're going to be shoveling some snow. You're going to be, de-icing your car if you don't have a garage, or you don't have the ability to remote start your car and heat it up. You're going to be scraping ice and shoveling snow. That's just part of the Midwest and Michigan lifestyle. And the 3rd con is the traffic here in Ann Arbor. Despite Ann Arbor being such a beautiful and great quality of life, you do have to bear some traffic, so that is one con that you don't really talk about. Can you get by without a car? Sure. But over time, cars become kind of a necessity here in Ann Arbor if you want to get around with ease and, get places pretty quickly. Otherwise, you're kind of subject to public transportation or bikes, and, that could be, 30, 40, 50 minutes, depending on where you're trying to get to, especially if you're going to be traveling outside of Ann Arbor. But with the population growing and Ann Arbor becoming more popular, traffic and congestion of roads are an issue. All right, and I foresee that being an issue for the foreseeable future. All right, there's really no way around that. A couple of pro tips though: if you are going to be traveling on game day for the University of Michigan, I'm talking about the football season, stay away from the south side of Ann Arbor near the stadium on Saturdays when they do have home games. If you want to get anywhere quick, I can assure you the easiest way to do so is just stay clear of the south side of Ann Arbor. So deciding whether Ann Arbor is a good place for you to live or not ultimately boils down to your priorities and your ideal lifestyle. Now, these pros and cons hopefully were a good sense of direction in terms of making some decisions and learning a little bit more about the city. You know, my team and I are getting calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are thinking about moving here to Ann Arbor, and we absolutely love it. So if you do have any more questions, feel free to reach out, or better yet, drop a comment below if there was something that you want answered on this channel or a video that, you know, we can make. We'd be happy to take requests, like a little request DJ. Just put those down below and we'd be happy to answer those. And hey, if you live here locally here in Ann Arbor and there's something you want to contribute to let people know, you know, how Ann Arbor has evolved over the years, or what's so great about it, or what they should be aware of on the con side before moving to Ann Arbor, drop those in the comments below. We love your support and love to hear from you as well. So let's keep this conversation going. And until next time, we'll catch you on the next one.